Hello my dear viewers and subscribers, welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. Today, we will be talking about the centipede. We will go over 8 interesting centipede facts. So make sure to watch until the very end so you don't miss out on anything. Before we get into the video, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And with that being said, let's begin. Number 1. How strong is a centipede? This is where it gets really crazy, because depending on what species of centipede you look at, their length can vary greatly. The smallest species of centipede are only about 2 millimeters long, but there are some species that can grow up to 35 centimeters. As far as their width goes, they usually measure between 2.5 to 4 millimeters wide, but the biggest centipedes on the planet, they reach up to 7.5 centimeters in width. Now I know these creatures look really scary and creepy, but in reality, they are actually quite fragile. Most of the time, if you were to touch a centipede, it would die because they are so fragile. But of course, there are some species of centipedes that are more robust than others. For example, the Amazonian giant centipede, which can grow up to 60 centimeters long, can survive even if you try to squash it. Even if you take its armor off, the thing will still live. It'll just feel a little bit more pain. So this centipede right here is one of the toughest known species of centipedes on our planet. But keep in mind that most of the time they are quite delicate. Now, moving on, number 2, what is a centipede's weapon? If you haven't noticed yet, centipedes have 1 pair of legs on each body segment. Unlike millipedes, which have 2 pairs of legs per segment, another difference between these two types of arthropods is that millipedes are usually cylindrical, while centipedes are flattened from side to side. Usually when people think of a centipede, they imagine this scary creature that has a pair of huge pincers, or forceps, at the front of its body. These pincers or forceps are the centipede's main weapon. These weapons are called forcipules, and they are located right behind the head. Each centipede species has a different sized forcipule. Some of them are very small, while others can reach 3 centimeters in length. But keep in mind that these are the size of the forcipules themselves. And then you need to add another 2 or 3 centimeters to the front of the centipede's body, so you can imagine how big these things are. These forcipules are not only used as weapons against prey, but also against predators and other dangers. They inject a toxic substance into their victims, which paralyzes them and makes them easier to eat. Number 3. What do centipedes eat? Centipedes are carnivorous. They love to feed on roaches, spiders, worms, snails, slugs, and any other kind of insect that gets in their way. There are even some larger species of centipedes that feed on small reptiles and amphibians. Now, smaller centipedes usually hunt smaller prey, and larger centipedes go after bigger prey. But regardless of the size of the centipede, they always eat the same way. They use their large pincers to hold on to their prey, while their smaller legs force the victim to bleed to death. Basically, the smaller legs act like nails that are squeezing the life out of the poor animal. Once the victim is dead, the centipede begins eating. Number 4. How fast can a centipede move? If you have ever seen a centipede run, you know how fast they can be. But if you haven't had the opportunity to witness such a sight, then I am here to tell you that centipedes can be very quick, especially when it comes to short distances. But why wouldn't they be fast? After all, they need to catch their prey, which is often very quick itself. Well, on average, a centipede can travel 3.5 kilometers per hour. That is very fast considering how low to the ground they are. But once again, this is an average speed. Some species are much faster than others. And as for how fast they can go in short bursts, well, they can be even quicker than that. If they want to be, the largest and slowest centipedes crawl around at a rate of 0.02 kilometers per hour. Can you imagine getting somewhere by riding on the back of one of these things? It would take forever. Number 5. How long can a centipede live? The lifespan of a centipede depends on many factors. For example, the size of the centipede, the environment, and whether or not it is kept as a pet. The tiniest centipedes usually live for 2 to 3 years, while the biggest ones can live for 6 years. But of course, there are some exceptions to this rule. For example, there was this one Amazonian giant centipede that lived up to 10 years in captivity. That is incredible. But unfortunately, it is also true that most centipedes don't make it to adulthood because they are eaten by predators or simply die due to illness or old age. So if you want your pet centipede to live a long and happy life, make sure to take good care of it. Give it plenty of food, water, and space, and it will reward you by living longer than most of its kind. Number 6. Can a centipede see? Yes, but not very well. Centipedes have a pair of antennae that they use to sense their surroundings. These antennae are covered with tiny hairs that detect chemicals, temperature, and moisture. They also have simple eyes, but they are not very useful. Most centipedes rely on their sense of touch rather than their sense of sight to find their way around. This is why they are so sensitive to vibrations. They can feel vibrations through their feet and body, which allows them to detect predators, prey, and other potential threats. Now, there are some species of centipedes that have better eyesight than others, but they are the exception, not the rule. In general, centipedes prefer to hide in dark, damp places during the day and come out only at night when their predators are less active. Number 7. Who are the centipede's enemies? Centipedes have many natural enemies, including birds, frogs, lizards, snakes, spiders, scorpions, other centipedes, and humans. Birds are probably the biggest enemy of centipedes because they will eat them even if they are venomous. Frogs and lizards won't hesitate to chow down on a centipede if given the chance. Snakes are also known to hunt centipedes, even though there are some species of centipedes that are poisonous enough to kill a snake. But even if the snake survives the bite, it will still eat the centipede. Spiders will also eat a centipede if they can trap it in their webs. Scorpions are another major enemy of centipedes, because they are also predators and they will fight a centipede tooth and nail if it invades their territory. As for humans, well, we are not afraid of centipedes. In fact, we sometimes keep them as pets because they are so cool looking. But even though we may not be afraid of them, we are still their enemy because we destroy their habitats and sometimes even eat them. Number 8. Do centipedes have any benefits to us? Yes, actually they do. First of all, they are very effective at controlling populations of other insects, which means that in some cases, we actually raise them on purpose. In addition, centipedes are also eaten in some countries. Of course, most people wouldn't dream of eating one of these things, but hey, if you are desperate, I guess anything goes. Finally, centipedes are just really cool to look at. There is something about their strange appearance that makes them so fascinating. Just make sure to admire them from a safe distance. With that being said, it's time to wrap up this video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite fact was. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to support us by giving a thumb up. Also, if you want to be a millionaire before the year ends, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!